Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. On behalf of the entire crew, as little as it may be in this tiny itty-bitty little plane, welcome aboard Whiskyfile Spirit Airlines. Not actually affiliated with Spirit Airlines, just simply a joke about whiskey. Plus, we give you comfier seats, potentially more legroom. Granted, this plane is rather small. And we offer full beverage services on all of our flights, including select whiskeys from my private collection. We are happy for you to join us on non-stop service from Swansea up to Edinburgh. Good afternoon, Matt. I mean, I know I've already said hi in the chat, but how you doing, brother? So this is the little plane that we're going to be flying. This is the Cirrus SR22, a nice little single-engine prop plane. Very nice to fly. I flew it around Seattle. I think the last time, that was probably maybe back in December. But it is a lovely little plane to fly. Now we are going to, of course, be flying up to Edinburgh. It's going to take probably about an hour, maybe hour and a half. I'm not exactly sure on the flight time. But we should get things started up here, so I'm going to bring up my checklist. By the way, I don't know, but I can check. Thank you for dealing with spam. I do appreciate it. Because those people are very annoying. Alright, let's bring up checklist here, and we will get this plane up. I'm just moving it over to my screen here, but I will explain to you what I'm doing. So first thing on the checklist is to make sure that the parking brake is set. Parking brake is this little red, oh, nope, not that one. Yeah, where's the parking brake on this one? Oh, it's this guy down here. Parking brake here, it is on, so we can check that off. Battery master switch, that's going to be up here. Could I use my mouse to actually get a little bit closer? So battery switches, we got these two guys here. And so that'll start bringing on the electronics. Now we do not have external power, I don't believe, but we should be okay. Let's see here. Next up is strobe lights. That'll just announce to ground crew that we're actually planning on taking off shortly. Mixture. So fuel mixture, we want it to be rich. It is already in place here, 100%. Power level, so throttle, full forward. And we go to fuel pump. Where is the fuel pump? So this guy, fuel pump switch. So we want to be on, we want to be prime. And then boost. And then we bring the power level back down here to just a little bit over about 15%. And then ignition. I believe, is that guy? Is that the key? Yeah, it is the key. Alrighty. So we got the engine going. We're going to let it basically get up to, oh, there's my HUD. So right now it's at about 1500 RPM. We want to bring it back down to about 1000. Where is that on the dials here? It's actually not showing it. That's annoying. Okay, we can slow it down this way here. So I'm just monitoring it down here in the bottom corner then. That'll be fine. Basically, this is just the starting procedure. So the battery, that's basically like the battery in your car. And I have to prime the fuel pump in order to get the engine started. The key, of course, was what starts the engine. Basically, it activates the starter. Then it's basically a magneto. It basically keeps the engine going. Let's see. So ignition's done. Power level to 1000 RPM. Oil check. Where is this exactly? Oh, that's where it lists it. Got it. So that's where my RPM will be listed. It'll be listed on this main HUD here. Oil PSI, batteries are fine. Okay, so yeah, we should be good. Alternator switch. Turn both these guys here. Turn on my avionics. And we are ready to go. I'm going to turn on my nav lights as well. And because we'll be taxiing, I'm going to turn on my landing lights. So yeah, this plane's pretty easy to start up. So let's contact the tower. Now the tower actually does not, basically I'm just broadcasting it because there is no proper air traffic control. Swansea Airport is very small. It does have 3 runways. It does actually have a tower. It's just I guess no one's here because I usually don't get anyone to respond to me. Alright. Now we're going to select a runway here. I think I want, actually I'm going to bring up a quick map. Swansea Airport map, because I actually don't know this airport all that well. But we're going to take off on the longer of the 3 runways. So if you want to see what the airport actually looks like, so I got off on my second screen here. So this is Swansea Airport. We're going to take off from runway 04, take off that way, go over the city, and then cruise out over the coast. We're flying by VFR rules, which is visual flight rules. So I get to fly wherever the heck I want. I just do a squawk code, which basically lets them keep track of me. I'm flying probably about 10,000 feet at the highest, so we're not going to run into any real traffic or anything like that, so we should be good. We have more than enough fuel. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So I turn that off.
Swansea traffic Whiskyfile 2121 is taxiing to runway 04.
Alright, now, fortunately I know where 04 is. It's this runway here, so we're going to basically just taxi here despite not having any guides. Turn around on that X, and then, actually I might turn them, yeah, we might start back here and then cruise along. I think that's what we'll do. Alright, so let's turn off our parking brake. Controls are all free. Alright, let's get going. Oops. Actually need that too. Start up please, thank you. So that's my map there. Yes, it is Garmin. They're actually pretty good around for aviation navigation. Oh, there is guides. That's nice of them. Oh, it's that runway. My bad. See, I would have... car, why? Why? Okay. Yeah. I have the right of way. You are a car. You have better brakes than I do. Silly car. Trying to race a plane. Yeah, the AI in this game has a complete mind of its own. I'm just pulling on my brakes here. There's a caution note here. What's going on with that alert? Pitot heat is off. I should probably turn that on. There we go. Yeah, the AI in this game is really dumb. I've been in jets and cars just cruise right in front of me just because. Alright. Nothing on the runway here. So we are cleared across it. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually cruise to the end of the runway and turn around. And then we will take off. Because there is no taxiway that will actually lead you to the runway. So we're going to cruise a little bit quick just so we can get ourselves positioned. Yeah, this SR22 is a lovely little plane to fly. I really like it. Oh, that's interesting. When you're moving pages, it decides to freeze everything. That's cool. So I'm not going down the center of the runway just because I'm going to be turning around. So we do have a bit of a crosswind. You can see the windsock there. I'll point it out to you once I turn around. Come on, come on. You gotta turn around all the way. So you can see the windsock there. It's probably about close to a 10 knot wind. So I think it's every ring there is like 5 knots. So we're gonna have a bit of a fun takeoff. Alright, flaps down. Gonna give a bit of trim down, or trim up here. Probably about 10 to 11%, that should be fine. Alright. Now let's take off. I mean, it's technically to the east. It's a bit more east than north. Or actually, it's a bit more north than east, but we'll do that.
Swansea traffic Whiskyfile 2121 taking off runway 04 east departure.
So basically, I'm operating as my own air traffic controller because they don't actually have one present. So well, let's get going. Now I'm constantly having to play with the rudder because the torque of the engine mixed with the side wind that we're getting, the crosswind there, is really pushing the plane, but it's basically going to take off on its own once we get up to speed, which is right about now. So I'm not even touching the stick and it's going off on its own, which is perfect. Alright, and there we are.
Manchester Centre Whiskyfile 2121 is type Cirrus SR22 1 miles northeast of Swansea 700 feet. Request flight following.
Whiskyfile 2121 Manchester Centre. Clock 0722.
Squawk 0722 Whiskyfile 2121.
Now, if you're wondering,
Whiskyfile 2121 radar. Contact 1 mile north of Swansea 1,400 feet. Altimeter tree 0.09er.
Roger Whiskyfile 2121.
now if you're wondering why it's 2121, of course, Marmite is from Swansea, and his number, of course, in GLR is 21. Now, he was supposed to join us for this flight. Unfortunately, he had something that he had to do. Yeah, cruising speed for this is going to be probably close to about 120 knots. This is not a fast plane. By comparison, you can actually see my shadow in my prop. By comparison, the jets that I typically fly are doing probably, it's like 400 or 500 knots cruising. Although their indicated airspeed will usually say about 250 or so because the air is actually thinner, so it's just indicated airspeed instead of actual airspeed. But there's GPS data to track all that, so. Yeah, I'm gutted too. It would have been nice to have him on. Marmite's actually the reason why, actually you can thank Marmite for being the reason why I race with all y'all, because Marmite, this was back in June of had to be June of 2020, or no, June of 2020. And he found some decals that I had made. I believe it was the Prismacolor decals that I had made. And he really liked them. Wanted to use them for a car that he was doing. I forgot which one he was working on. And well, we got talking after that. I altered the decals so that way he could use it for what he wanted to. And got in with a racing league with him. Then GLR started with him and 5 other fellas. That was me, Marms. Yes, I know stall. I'm monitoring my speed. Leave me alone. It was me, Marms, Cordell, Seal, Kazzy, Racer, Doug, and Mikey. And we always talked in the other league that we were in, so it was real easy for us to transition and start our own thing. And that's how we ended up meeting you, Matt. So I should actually probably get my autopilot going. Which means I've got to actually figure out how to get this going.
Engaging autopilot.
Alright, so autopilot is engaged. Flight director is on. So we're going to just do a gentle climb with that. Let's see here. Heading. Oh, there we go. Now it's following my heading. Excellent. Autopilot in this is actually quite nice. So what it's going to do is it should lock on, unless it's going along that heading. It is going along that heading. I don't need it going along that heading. No, I'll do that. We'll just do it like this. And we're going to put it right about 300 degrees. That looks to be about what it would be navigation-wise. We can just monitor. We don't have to stay directly to that flight plan. Just because we are basically enjoying the scenery. Yeah, he seems to be on the mend. Hey, Marmite. Speak of the devil, how you doing, brother? Again, if you're available, WSA Flight Radio and GLR server is up and running, so you are more than welcome to join in, even if you want to just pop on for a couple of minutes. We just took off from Swansea Airport, so there's your lovely town there, right here on the nice little peninsula here. So, airport's over right about here. I can see it. Can I see it? Yeah, there it is. I think. Okay. I'm blind. It's somewhere out here. I just can't see it. That's okay. Yeah, it's okay, Marms. But happy to have you in the chat. We are in a lovely cruise over your neck of the woods. Picked up me some Penderin whiskey here, so if I actually wanted to, although still feeling kind of tired from the gym. Gym kicked my ass today. My arms are sore. Legs surprisingly doing well, but arms are killing me. Alrighty, so we've got to adjust my heading just a little bit So we're going to be flying over this airport here, EGFP. Which airport is this? This is Pembrey Airport here. So Pembrey, West Wales that we're approaching. You can see that on my map here. I don't quite have a visual of it, but we're also adjust my heading just a little bit more. So the heading that I'm adjusting there, it's basically just, it's navigating based on the cardinal map directions, so I'm sort of just roughing it. I'm not even asking them to tell me where my heading should be. I'm just kind of going, oh, I'm flying right over. There it is. That's Pembrey Airport. Typically when you're flying VFR, you are flying basically on visual landmarks. So you can basically go airport to airport. In my neck of the woods, a lot of aircraft, like low-flying aircraft, will fly using our highway system. It's a really easy way to navigate, especially if you know the area. So I see a lot of people flying along what's called the 210 freeway. It's a 5-lane wide, as you would call it, a carriageway, but 5 lanes wide on both sides. So 5 lanes on one side, 5 lanes on the other. And if you go far enough, it's got a train down the middle. And more often than not, it's packed with cars because traffic management in Los Angeles is just shit. Are you talking doing like a full-on barrel roll? The latency. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Just sore because I've been kicking my own butt to try and get back in shape. Ooh. Gotta adjust my heading because we're going fully due north now. So Matt, were you talking about doing a full-on barrel roll? Because I potentially can. I mean, I'm not married to my flight plan here. Oops. There we go. Set to level flight here. So we're just below 10,000 feet. I should probably turn off my landing light. I do not need it all. Where's my landing light? There we are. Alrighty. Cause you pressured me. So, autopilot is off. That is a full-on barrel roll. We're gonna overspeed just a little bit. And a nice little loop. Oops. And a stall. Uh-oh. Alright. Come on. Back under control. There we go.
It's Pembrey. Not Pembrey.
Hey, Marms.
Closer.
Cool. Can you hear me?
Oh, no, yeah, I can. And is that Amy with you?
Yeah, I'd lean a bit. He's next to me.
How are you two doing?
Good, I'm good. I'm trying to figure out if I could join the video at the same time.
I don't know. I would assume it's just like a call.
Yeah, I've joined it, but just turned the video down.
Okay. Appreciate that. That way we don't get an echo or anything.
Yeah, it's Pembrey Airport. It actually has a racetrack as well. If you fly close enough, you see the racetrack.
Oh, nice. Let's see, I think it's all the way back there, but let's see if we can zoom in. Oh, stupid camera. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there. You got a little bit of latency. But yeah, right there. So, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's good. So you flying over. Well, part of Wales, what do they call that? West Wales. Yeah.
Because right now we're
Flying
flying
over.
basically straight to Edinburgh.
Yeah, you'd be going over Carmarthenshire next. That's very good. Where's good?
No, it's actually Bing Maps because Microsoft.
Bing.
Yeah. It's a mixture of Bing Maps and then some... They do some hand modeling for some things. Sort of depends on the city and some of the little models that they use in place of things.
How long was your flight going to be, JD?
We're looking at probably about an hour to an hour and a half. So it'll be a decent little one. Just go down so it's still level.
Lola's watching as well.
Yeah, this plane's real easy to land too, so it's definitely nice to fly.
It's not the same. It's not the plane you flew to Swansea, is it?
Wait, the plane that I flew where?
To Swansea from London.
No,
What plane
I
was that?
flew a P-51 on that one and crashed through the trees.
Yeah, I seen that landing.
This plane is a lot easier to fly.
You've opted for an easier plane to land this time.
To be fair, it was a good landing. Well, the approach was good. The landing was the dodgy part, because my approach, it was pretty much as smooth as I could get. It's just all of a sudden it decided to take a right turn,
Yeah.
and there was just no stopping it.
I'm guessing Edinburgh. This is Edinburgh Airport.
Yeah, Edinburgh Airport.
Is it a big airport?
I mean, I've flown into it before, and I'm talking in real life, so it's big enough for a small Airbus jet. Because
Oh, there we go. So
Ryanair,
there'll be a lot more people watching. So make sure you don't mess up this landing.
yeah, the Welsh ones, they're probably just assuming a sheep flew in.
Yeah, if it was the Swansea airport, chances are there's about 3 people there, and they're the ones that are working.
Yeah, but they still give me a lot of shit, because even at small airports, there's aviation fans.
Yeah, there's a lot of skydiving goes on from Swansea.
I can see that.
You're just doing some acrobatics now. It's probably delayed. You probably do it beforehand. I've only just noticed.
Yeah, it was a little dodgy, because started to stall out the plane, because it's not a powerful motor. So it definitely
You thought we're
stalled out.
chucking it round.
I saved it. Wasn't in any danger.
Yeah, is there a sign inside it that says no aerobatic maneuvers? Matt was picked up on it.
Yeah, but I just kind of ignore that.
It's
also
just
telling
an
me-
advisory. It's not a warning. Just an advisory.
Exactly. And it's only in bold, but it's not big font. So
Where is it? I can't even see it.
it's right here next to the nav string. It says no aerobatic maneuvers, including spins, comma
Oh.
approved. So basically, I just voided the warranty.
Yeah.
But it's okay, they'll
fine.
never know. There's certainly not video evidence.
They haven't seen the landing yet, so the maneuvers will probably be the least of their worries.
Yeah. Now, the last time I flew this plane was the second Seattle flight. I think it was my second stream. I flew this one around Mount Rainier and stuff. And it was a lovely plane.
It is a very small plane.
Yeah, it's only 4 seats. You got me, co-pilot that you can't see here, and 2 seats in the back. It's basically like a car with wings. Only difference is this car with wings cost about 300 grand brand new.
That's not too bad for a plane.
Not bad for a plane, but it's expensive.
300 grand, they could probably go out and buy one. Even buy a plane. The 300 grand this plane would be. But
Yeah,
Branding.
most people go for like the Cessna 152 or 172, because you can find some of those for pretty darn cheap, especially secondhand. You can find them for like 20, 30 grand around here.
That's not bad. What are you flying
No.
over, JD?
Right now, I'm just gonna check the GPS.
I seen a city below, or some sort of like town.
I don't know, they all look like little farming villages and stuff like that, but my maps are not that detailed, so let me bring up Google Maps here.
I'm curious.
So what I've got over on this screen is I got my map here, but it's only telling me some nav points and stuff like that. But I got Google Maps over on this side. Lampeter, I think is what it is.
Oh, Lampeter. It is like just a very
like,
small farming sort of town.
Yeah.
It's a fair size. It's not small, but
Yeah, but small compared to what I would
oh
see.
yeah,
Small town here is like 30,000 people.
yeah. Now there's not much going on in Lampeter. They've probably got some nice pubs.
Probably.
No. Oh,
I mean, you guys got nice pubs in just about every town.
anything Welsh. They do. They have the country ones. Unless you're in a big city, you get lots of chains then. But I like the country ones.
Yeah, me too, actually. If it's got a clever name, I'm happy. Also, if it's got a good selection of beer, because Mikey might call it blasphemy, but I like a variety.
Yeah. Unless you serve Guinness, Mikey isn't entering that pub.
I don't mind if it's.
It could be a
Yeah.
Michelin star, top end restaurant, and he doesn't serve Guinness. If they say no, he will go next door to probably the scabbiest pub ever, just so he can pink Guinness.
Yeah. For me, though, I like a variety. But it's got to have a good whiskey bar.
Good whiskey selection. Well, you gotta pick up some Scottish whiskey, no?
Oh, when I land in Edinburgh, I will. I've got a fair few. I've got like 8 or 9 on my shelf.
Any plans away going after Edinburgh?
Nope, got nothing planned. Happy to do
Is
a couple short jaunts, but if I do like a longer one, it'll be on to mainland Europe.
Is Iceland close?
Sort of. I mean, let's take this and zoom out. So, that's Ireland.
I'm trying to think of somewhere that's quite snowy.
Iceland would be a fun flight. It's just, I can't see it on this map. It's just a little too small. But, I mean, I could do a jet flight over Reykjavik or something. That'd be fun.
A jet flying on a jet plane.
How about we do that? I will fly a 737 to Reykjavik. That'll be my
Amy
next
said go
flight.
to Lapland.
Well, once we're there, then I'll do some like little toury flights like this. Nice low and slow, something fun to do.
What's the top speed of this plane, JD?
Right now we're cruising at, now granted this is indicated airspeed, so it's a little slower than what would actually be shown, but it's going to calculate here. So it's my brain, I understand knots, but I don't know how to convert knots.
Yeah, I don't get knots.
I only get it in terms of airplanes, as I know when I'm going to die, but I don't know quite how fast I'm going. So it's saying, actually it's saying 175 is my actual ground speed, so I'm doing about 200 miles an hour.
Well, it's fair speed then.
Mm-hmm.
Fair old speed.
Yeah, let's see. Don't see any actual indicated ground speed, but yeah, that's probably about what it's doing. And top speed would be saying 180 knots. That's when it starts screaming at me. Because you can stress an aircraft out by going too fast. So you try not to do that.
Oh, yeah, I was 4 minutes behind on your video then. I was watching the video, but I must have like got off it for a sec. So I was actually 4 minutes behind the live footage.
But Matt, I mean, I can move the camera to the back seat, but it'll just default to the pilot seat here. But it's also a little weird to move because I've got to do it this way because I don't have a key bound, at least that I know of. I just sit back here. Plane just keeps flying itself. Autopilot's nice. The autopilot suite on this thing's actually pretty good. It's not following my heading exactly, but we can adjust that. Oh shoot, I forgot to do my safety video. Well, now that we're in the air, let's go through the safety video because they're fun to do. We are flying in a Cirrus SR22. Now please take a moment to pay attention as we go through the safety information of this aircraft. When the pilot yells at you to put on your seatbelt, you must fasten your seatbelt. Insert the metal fitting one to the other and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight as we may experience turbulence. Note that there really isn't any room to move about the cabin, so there's no real reason to take off your seatbelt. There are technically 4 emergency exits on this aircraft, with each door for each passenger and the pilot. Please take a few moments to note that your door is your exit. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, open the door and get out. No lighting will guide you, only God and your ability to open doors will. Doors can easily be opened by moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. Even though this probably wouldn't even make the local news, in the event of a water landing, a life vest is located in a pouch under your seat, I would assume. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Slip it over your head, pass the straps around your waist and adjust it at the front. To inflate the vest, firmly pull on the red cord only when leaving the aircraft. If you need to refill the vest, blow it into the mouthpiece. Oxygen and air pressure are not being monitored given this flight is not pressurized, and it will not fly above 10,000 feet. So, if you feel lightheaded or fall asleep due to hypoxia, good luck. At this time, your portable electronic devices must be set in airplane mode until an announcement is made upon arrival. If you notice your video stream stop, that's because you fell for that and I will never get tired of that joke. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight, even though some of you think you look cool doing it. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the non-existent lavatories is prohibited by law, and if you need to use the non-existent lavatory during the flight, well, you're just gonna have to hold it until we land. You will find this and all other safety information in the card located in the seat pocket in front of you. If you do not have a seat pocket in front of you, you're probably not actually on a plane, which we don't find all that surprising. We strongly suggest you read this card before takeoff, and good luck if you do not have one. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask one of our crew members or in the chat next to the video. So sit back, relax, and when we're safely at cruising altitude, pour yourself a glass and enjoy your flight on Whiskyfile Spirit Airlines. Yeah, I have way too much fun with that. So that's also just a pre-made video, so I'm able to cycle that into the stream pretty easily.
Go with that. We did it though. There you go. Yeah, you gotta do more of those. They're funny.
Well, I've got one for the SR22, I've got one for the 737, I have one for the 787, and then I have one for my cargo airplane, which is pretty funny too. Because basically it's like all nonchalant and I just don't care because the only things that'll die are cargo and the small crew on board.
have you done a video with our cargo plane?
Yeah, it was the one that I took from Miami to London.
I'll watch that. I'll watch that. I just want to watch. This is at the beginning of the tasty video.
The only thing with that video is the audio was muted at the beginning of that one. So actually, just for you, because I have it here, the audio was muted in that one for some reason. So it initially didn't come through, but it will now. So we'll show that one. Hang on, no, I'm gonna make it go live. So just give me a second here.
Oh, okay. Mute the mic so I can watch it.
We are flying in a Boeing 777 freighter variant. Now please take a moment and pay attention as we go through the safety information for this aircraft. Given we are in a cargo aircraft, we don't care about the boxes. They're bolted in place on pallets, so no need for seatbelts. If you are in the cockpit, these are my machines.
Whose machines?
My machines!
How is that helpful?
They're my machines! My machines!
We good? Good. Am I having too much fun with these? Maybe. Is this professional? Sure, why not? But if you do happen to find yourself in our business class, of which we have 4 seats available, I guess we should go through the usual formalities.
When the seatbelt sign illuminates, you must fasten your seatbelt. Insert metal fittings one into the other and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight, as we may experience turbulence.
Given it's just the cockpit or the small business class that's occupied, and boxes are totally screwed if we need to evacuate or crash, as Tom Hanks can attest, there are 2 emergency exits located on either side of the plane. If you happen to be in the cargo hold, the other doors can be used to vacate the aircraft as well. Lights will guide you to any of the emergency exits.
Doors can be opened by moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide, which may also be detached and used as a life raft.
In the event of a water landing, a life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the pouch and remove the vest. Slip it over your head, pass the straps round your waist and adjust at the front. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord, only when leaving the aircraft. If you need to refill the vest, blow into the mouthpiece. Your seat cushion can be used as a flotation device. Pull the cushion from the seat, slip your arms into the straps, and hug the cushion to your chest. Now, we recommend, if we crash in the ocean, please try and befriend a volleyball to keep your sanity, as with only a few souls on board, they probably won't look for us that hard until you fashion a raft out of palm trees and find a cargo ship in the middle of the ocean after losing your best friend.
Oxygen and air pressure are always being monitored in the event of a decompression. An oxygen mask will automatically appear in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you, place it firmly over your mouth and nose, secure the elastic band behind your head, and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first and then assist the other person. Keep your mask on until a crew member advises you to remove it. At this time, your portable electronic devices must be set to airplane mode until an announcement is made upon arrival. If you noticed your video stream has stopped, that's because you fell for that and I will never get tired of that joke. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight, even though some of you think you look cool doing it. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is prohibited by law. You will find this and all other safety information in the card located in the seat pocket in front of you. If you do not have a seat pocket in front of you, you're probably not actually on a plane, which we don't find all that surprising. We strongly suggest you read this card before takeoff, and good luck if you don't have one. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask one of our crew members or in the chat next to the video. So sit back, relax, and when we're safely at cruising altitude, pour yourself a glass.
And we want to thank you for choosing Whiskyfile Logistics, a subsidiary of Whiskyfile Spirit Airlines.
How long does it take you to make one of those?
I'm just putting on the mic here. Marmite just asked how long those take me. That one, because I recycle some of the audio, you can tell when the audio is kind of changing. They'll take about maybe an hour, hour and a half to edit all together.
So just as long as the flight, like.
Yeah, well, at least one of these flights. The longest flight I did was that cargo one, which was about 8 hours. Because I was flying from Miami to London, and you basically go up the coast of the United States, then kind of carry it off over the coast of eastern Canada, cut over Greenland, cut over Iceland, and then to over Ireland and then into London.
Nice.
We're getting a little bit of turbulence.
Oh, I gone over the mountain, see?
Yep.
Pull that red handle, Diggy. Pull that red.
So just
Probably.
over that inlet there. And this is live weather. It is just not live time because flying at night is really not conducive for YouTube.
It is, well, we should have done it from Swansea yesterday. Yesterday, the weather was terrible, windy as hell yesterday.
Yeah, but if
Proper,
it's too,
bins
weather's too
flying on the
warm.
gardens, so windy.
Yeah, but it's nice flying today. A little bit of turbulence off the mountains, but
Yeah,
nothing
today
to...
has been like, in a true though, today has been like that sort of quite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been exactly the same. She's like just getting kissed just randomly. The dog just randomly gives you kisses. Like.
What's really funny though is when people talk about like severe turbulence. Okay, yeah, the plane's rocking here, but apparently real pilots, when they're in like cargo planes and stuff like that, real turbulence is like what you would think of. Oh my god, I'm gonna die, but they're like, yeah, it's just fine, just power through it.
Yeah. I know it's a little plane, but it's not even like this wouldn't scare you as much as it just rocking a little bit.
Yeah,
You start
I mean,
plummeting towards that mountain below you, like then you've got problems.
yeah, but you're also not really. I mean, the turbulence you're feeling in this is probably what you'd feel in a regular airplane, anyways, like a proper airliner. It's just
Yeah.
it's just rocking around. You can notice the motion more, but it's not really all that bad. I mean, the altitude difference that I'm getting even with the turbulence is 10, 20 feet.
I've seen this place around LA. I've never been.
And there's only got one handle for control. Like usually they got like a tool.
Yeah, it's just one stick on the side here, so you can see it there. And oh, that probably disengaged my autopilot, didn't it? Oh, no, it didn't. That's cool.
And what are you
more
playing?
turbulence.
With keyboard and mouse, or have you got a proper?
So I've got an Xbox One controller and a keyboard and mouse, so I sort of vary between them. I usually use my Xbox controller for all the fine movements, so rudder are on my triggers, left stick is my ailerons and pitch, right stick is looking around. Let's see here. A, I believe, is... Yeah, A is increase speed, or increase throttle, B is decrease throttle, Y is my autopilot, X is brake, and I've got a few things tied to my D-pad and my right and left bumpers. And then I've got
gotta
some
get one of
keyboard
those.
controls.
Proper one soon.
Yeah, one of these days, but it's more important for me to get a racing rig than it is proper joystick, because for this, I mean, when I started flying in flight simulators, I was using only a keyboard and a touchpad because it was a crummy laptop. It was a HP Pavilion 5730 from 2002 that I played. That was the first flight simulator I ever got, was for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2002.
Yeah, I think I'm
And-
pretty sure I had one of those.
Yeah, it was a fun game. It got me kind of hooked, but I sucked at flying, and I didn't play one since. And this is the first one that I've gotten since then, and oh, it's just amazing the amount of just the technical jump over the 18 years.
I don't think I could put this on my PC. I think it'd shit itself.
Yeah, because right now, I mean, you know the setup I've got. I've got an i9 10900K CPU. I've got a 3080 Ti in this, and you know it's cruising along just fine.
Yeah, once again, I mean, I would like to get into this.
for Whiskyfile 2121.
But just like landing and taking off. Put on
Yeah.
autopilot and go.
And also keep
Something
in
else.
mind, you can strip down the graphics too to get it to be a little better. It's just it's not going to look as pretty,
Yeah, it'd be looking like I'm flying around in a Minecraft world.
kinda. But I mean, even the lower ones are not terrible. But it's not like the highest end. I mean, the jump from high to ultra is like very minimal. It's only nerds like me that'll really notice.
It's on the Xbox Pass, isn't it?
I believe so, actually, and I know it's on Xbox. So if you, yes, I acknowledge the last transmission. Hush, Manchester.
122.5 for Whiskyfile
Oh, you're over
2121.
Manchester now.
Getting there. They're the ones that are getting giving me flight directions, but I'm tuning to land better next, so...
Land for approach Whiskyfile 212110300
What are we
feet.
doing?
But Manchester is sort of like a major hub, so
Ah, right.
we'll pick up...
So it's not far from Edinburgh, now, is it?
We are about... Let's see, how far are we? Come on, map. Come on, map. There we go. So we're about a third of the way there, so that's where we are. And we gotta fly over
Oh, yeah, quite far.
and up there, so still a little bit of a ways.
Where's Manchester?
Manchester, where's Manchester? It's hard to tell because I don't know any of these airport codes, so
I
really...
think Manchester is MAN. Should be, I think it's MAN.
So EMAN, you mean?
Yeah, it could be.
Okay. Because yeah, in England, at least I believe it's England or it's Europe, they're denoted by an E, where in the United States, actually I think it might be this one. So,
Yeah, could be that one.
probably over in this area. But in the United States, they're denoted by a K, so Los Angeles International Airport's KLAX.
So what's the E
KGF.
stand for it? Because when you get the little tags in the suitcase, it doesn't say
Sorry, say that again?
when you get the little tags on the suitcase, it doesn't say the E. It just says, like, for instance, Cardiff CWL.
Correct. It's mainly just for the pilots and radio transmissions.
Yeah, right, big brother.
Nice notice.
And for Asia, at least around Japan and Korea, because I've flown around there a few times just doing sort of practice flights, theirs are denoted with an R.
Right.
So-
It would be nice if you to fly over, say, like Japan or something, doing a night flight.
Yeah, we will, because basically this series, I'm calling it Around the World in 80 Drinks. So if you've noticed, every time I land at an airport, that's the airport that I usually take off from, or I'll take off from one that's really close.
Yeah.
And then, so right now I'm in England and Wales, and now going to be up in Scotland. I'll probably, because I like your idea of going over to Iceland, we'll do that, and then fly into Ireland, and then fly over to mainland Europe. After that, go into Germany probably.
Get the big boys out for that one.
Mm-hmm. Go from Germany, then of course the Germans have got to invade France because traditions. And what, too soon? And then after that, you know, tour around Paris a little bit. Might do one of these kind of flights because Paris actually looks pretty good in this game because they did that in one of the updates. And then after that,
Yeah. Where's Las Vegas at night? Look all pretty.
you know what the add-on that I have? Yes, it does.
That would be a nice. I know you said don't do night flights, but it'd be quite.
I think in the Discord I posted it once. Let's see, I'm scrolling. Let's keep going. I swear I did in Vegas, right? Maybe I didn't. So I know I flew over Vegas for a little bit just because it was fun.
Yes, this thing, so would look prettier at night. I know that Japan, Tokyo and that would look quite.
Tokyo
Quite nice.
actually makes my computer run slow.
Does it?
It's so much data for it to process. Like if I'm trying to do that and record things, it starts to slow down a little bit. Which is kind of ridiculous.
Just get out of Japan as quick as possible.
And you saw
flight
I was...
over Mount Fuji would be nice and get me
Well,
done from Japan.
I know I posted that one in the Discord. I flew onto Fuji Speedway.
Did you?
Yeah. Hang on, I'll I got the picture. Hang on. Let's see here. Get that guy. And this one. So yeah, that was me flying over it. And that was
How do I
me
do it?
overshooting MT1.
I haven't got it. What's it on?
It's on the Discord. It's on my Microsoft Flight Simulator one. So I just showed it on the YouTube thing. So it'll pop
Oh,
up.
right. I went on the Discord so I got off the video. I'm on Farming Simulator, that's the wrong one. Flight Simulator.
Yeah, it was dated November 23rd. That was when I was doing those flights.
November 23rd.
It was just, I actually was able to land on the speedway, like on the straight, but overshot the turn one as is tradition.
Oh my god, yeah. My favourite track ever. Looks even better in the air.
Yeah, it does, because it's low quality graphics when you're really up close to it, but it's because they never expect you to land a 737 on the track.
Yeah.
So I can't really fault them too much.
We'll go back onto this, press play, fast
Got
forward.
some lovely mountains here. Let's see, where are we exactly?
So, here we are. My second stand is something important. Let me show you around my house. This time.
You watching what I just watched?
So we're flying over Snowdonia National Park at the moment. Not much snow here, but... And then a bunch of words that I cannot pronounce because they look like a Welshman wrote them, because I'm guessing he probably did.
Whereby is this? I can't see it.
Hang on, I'm just sort of scrolling over it on channel here. So this is where we are basically.
Snowdonia.
Actually, we're flying, yeah, just off to the left. It's actually these mountains here. And we're flying towards Bethesda, which is currently owned by Microsoft. And a bunch of words that do not make any lick of sense phonetically because I don't speak Welsh.
Yeah, those are proper Welsh. I don't speak Welsh.
We got Abergrin or Grin or something like that. Gordonog.
Abergrin, Gwyneth.
What?
Land
You've seen
Fair
it.
Fetching. That one actually kind of makes sense.
I'm trying to get please.
Amy's been trying to say it.
I can't. Too far away.
Oh, no. I think I was back and back.
Yeah, sorry, I'm there. Abergwynver
Not even we can see. Not even
No,
we
I
can see
can't
it.
see it. Can you go any further?
The one I know the other one. It says 10 mile mile.
10 miles.
10 mile mile.
What about this one? This one has only two vowels in it.
What's that one?
Go back over it again.
Hang on, I've got to deal with flight radio real quick.
Oh.
Give me a second here. Just acknowledging the handoff and land better.
18.775 Whiskyfile 2121.
And switching over back to Manchester Center.
Manchester Center Whiskyfile 2121.
Just to speak to him more.
So I'm basically going through a menu on air traffic control. It gives me this. It'll give me some options to it, but I've got to keep in constant contact with them as you would typically do it, so... The AI pilot is saying these things.
You don't actually say anything.
No, I don't have to. Although there are communities and stuff like that that will have real people doing air traffic control for Flight Simulator, and you will respond back and forth with them, which is pretty cool. I just haven't done that yet because I just don't have the vernacular down.
Yeah. It's pretty good, like. So, will there be other planes and stuff live on this map?
Yeah, there will. Right now, because it's pretty late at night for you guys, there's not much traffic in the air.
Yeah.
If it was actually truly at, well, be now close to like 9 o'clock in the morning, there would be pretty decent amount of air traffic. If you look at some of the other videos, the ones where I'm flying, particularly in the United States, those ones I'm flying at real time, and those are real flights, and I'll actually ping them and track them. So if I see like a flight that says like, let's say it's American Airlines 1679 or something like that, I can then go on to Google, search American Airlines 1679, and it'll tell me where it's flying and what type of plane it is, which is pretty cool.
So the planes that you see in game are related to real life flights as well.
Yes.
That's nuts. That is
There's
bonkers.
actually-
There's another detail that goes into it.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty incredible. And there's a few planes flying off. They're just too far away for me to see them at the moment.
Yeah.
Because you can see them on the... So here on the map radar, there's a few planes flying
Oh yeah.
back and forth there. So there is some traffic here. I'm just not flying along typical airways, because VFR flights, they basically make up their own routes, where if you're flying at high altitude, you are flying along basically roadways in the sky. So
Yeah.
that's why a lot of the planning to it, it's a lot more meticulous than what I'm doing here, where this one I can just hop in a plane and go. I just tell them, hey, I'm going here, and the way that they keep track of me is they give me a squawk code, which that squawk code basically is telling air traffic control, hey, there's this plane, it's flying here, it's doing its own thing, just be aware of it.
I got it.
Oh, that's where I'm at. Oh, we got another Russian. Goodbye and report and unwanted content spam. Get.
Oh. If make me a more, I'll ban him.
I would
Chuck a
love
fire.
to go, Matt. Because happy to have Marmite give me the actual grand tour of his neck of the woods. And I was just saying that Wales is such an awesome place, and I wholeheartedly agree.
It is. It is. This road signs make no sense, but it's a nice place.
Neither do your city names.
Yeah, and I can't even say half the city names.
Well, there's that one that you posted that's like the longest one, where it just is just a bunch of syllables, or just a bunch of letters just crammed together. That
Can you
makes
see
no
that
sense.
one? That Welsh name that's really fucking long.
Can we go?
That's the one. I don't know, you can't see it.
I can say it if I read it. Can't
Oswin, go Gilead.
I can say it if I see it. I can't say it.
Ask and you shall receive.
Go.
There you go.
That's the one.
Give it a go.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you said you can read it if you see it.
Uh-huh.
It's like JD brought up for you.
Come on.
Llanpeg, Polgwyn... Llanpeg, Polgwyn... Gwynlen...
Nah, you can't say it.
Yep.
I thought I could. I did...
It does have a smaller,
You
smaller
failed in the
version,
internet.
but it does, yeah. It does have a different one.
Imagine living there. Where'd you live?
Fucking that place that you
Or-
can't say. It's probably easier to say the place you can't say than actually try to say the name, isn't it?
It's gotta have some sort of nickname.
Go.
Okay, go. I know it says go at the end. Ooh, that's
Oh.
that, JD. What town is this? This big town, there.
It's called Llandudno. Double
Llandudno.
Landudn. It's there, and then there's a few other, yeah, but basically Landros and Llandudno, Gogarth. But I'm guessing Llandudno is the formal name of the area.
Llandudno. Yeah, it's not Llandudno Wells, is it?
What was that?
Is it Llandudno or Llandudno Wells?
Llandudno. I'm guessing. Keep in mind, I'm also looking off of,
Yeah.
because
You
that's
gotta-
right
if
where
it's-
we are.
Llandudno, you gotta do Llan. You gotta,
Clan?
because it's two L's. He says two L's there.
Yeah.
Anything with two L's at the start of the Welsh language don't get pronounced L, it gets pronounced. So Llan.
How do you feel
Yeah,
when Spaniards or other Spanish-speaking folk come over there and call it Yandro?
Yeah. Amy's mother's from Birmingham, and there's a place in Swansea, well up Road, called Llanelli.
No, she says
Oh, goodness.
No, But there's another one. It's just 2 L's, isn't it? Again, everyone says Lanelli or Lanelli. Lanelli, that's the one. Lanelli. Because they say it as it's spelled. Because it's 2 L's in it twice.
That's just...
It's Lanelli.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, anything with 2 L's, you don't say L, you say class.
Huh. Oh. And that was Welsh language lessons from my right. I will continue my track record of mispronouncing everything, except for phonetic stuff. I was really good at pronouncing things in German, because German makes sense.
So we're flying over England in a bit. Those words we'll be able to say.
Yep. Although actually, I think we're bypassing most of England. So basically, we're bypassing a lot of it for this sort of peninsula, or not what's it called? Gulf, I guess.
JD, what time does the in-flight food come round on this flight? Just get a man.
There are snacks in the pouches in front of you. You will find pretzels and peanuts.
I'm allergic.
Well, have you got anything with for someone with a peanut allergy?
Oh, that's what the pretzels are for.
The pretzels.
I'm not really allergic.
She don't like pretzel. I got curry downstairs. Curry on this flight.
Actually, because it's such a small plane, I'd just allow you to bring up anything that you want.
Just sitting in the back with a chicken tikka.
You know, I found an amazing Indian place just down the block for me, and had some chicken curry and some black pepper chicken that was just heavenly.
Is Indian food big in LA?
Basically, all food is big in LA. You will find literally everything, any type of food you want is around here. I mean, within walking distance, I can go to, there's a Greek place, there's a Indian place, there's a sushi place, there's an Italian place, there's a mom and pop burger shop, and then there's McDonald's and Del Taco and other things. So I mean, it's just, and this is in the crummy part of LA. Like this isn't even a major popular place.
Some of the chains I would be interested in, because we've recently got a Taco Bell over here. I don't mind Taco Bell, but you've got obviously different things over there. It's like,
We got Denny's.
yeah, we got Denny's, but what's the other one? What's In-N-Out Burger? Stuff like that.
So In-N-Out, that's a great place. The only thing is it's limited to sort of the greater West Coast area. Because the founder of the company wanted to make sure that it was no further than a 24-hour drive from their headquarters.
Oh, okay.
So you won't find it on the East Coast because that's way too far. You won't find it in Swansea because that's way, way too far. It's a bit hard to drive across the Atlantic.
Yeah. But I just think things like that I want to try. I want to try an In-N-Out Burger. You got grilled cheese sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
I have a grilled cheese sandwich. We've got a Five Guys in Swansea.
Nice. I like Five Guys. Five Guys is fantastic. I will say.
Silly expensive. Like the first time I ever went there, it was the most expensive burger I've ever bought.
How much was it?
It was nice. It was quality was good. The chips, because of peanut oil, eh?
Oh yeah,
they were
peanut oil.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But they do a grilled cheese sandwich there, and I went there the other day. Oh, well, the other day, it was a while ago, and I bought. It was like, how much was it? It was like £5 or £6 British pounds.
Huh.
A grilled cheese sandwich. So I thought I'd try it. When it came out, it was the smallest thing ever. It was, but it tasted amazing.
Yeah, because their buns are fantastic. But yeah, when I go to Five Guys, I'm out the door $15, and
it's about for two of us. I think it was £30, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With the burger separately as well. The chips are separate.
Yeah, everything's separate. So it was about £30 that we paid. Yeah, which it's about.
Here's at least one of the tips. Always go for small fries because they still shove a ton in the bag anyways.
Yeah, it's the same,
The bottom of the bag.
I went for, I think the first time I ever went there, the large fries. You
never
finished them.
If you ever do come to my neck of the woods, there is a place I will take you that looks like an absolute dump. But this is a hashtag not sponsored, but they're delicious, so why not? It's called Arturo's Puffy Taco, and so that way I'm not actually just broadcasting my location exactly. Place looks like this. Like I said, looks like a dump. This is the outside of it. It still looks like that. Even like this was how it looked like 20 years ago. It still looks the same. But they make puffy tacos. They're heavenly. They'll stop your heart in an instant. but it's worth it because they are
Well,
not
that's the
healthy.
stuff I
at all.
like. The America, I want a street taco.
Yep.
We watch a YouTuber. Well, Amy's watching him now. He's called Mickey Chin, Strictly Dumpling, and he does a lot of Asian food. But he does like street food tours and stuff. It's all about food. It's great to watch. But he does like street tacos. He goes around the street vendors and buys like $1 tacos. I'm like, I really want that.
Oh, they
I
are.
want to try it. You don't get it over here.
I will
You
say,
don't get street food.
here's the rule of thumb: the sketchier the truck looks, the better the taco tastes.
Yeah, it's, but like you get it all out in America, but we don't have nothing like that. I couldn't walk down the street at night in Swansea, like gone over there and have like taco vans and all this sort of van parked up at night.
I did that one
Yeah.
night. I was at I was doing one of the drunk driving lobbies with the fellows from the pub, and I just started getting really hungry, and so I've got them on the PlayStation chat, so I have them on my phone. So I took them with me as I went and got tacos, basically just down the street from where I live. I got out of my apartment, walked to my car, grabbed my little clicker button so I can get out of the parking area, just because I'm too lazy to want to punch in the code to get into my actual building. And they were making tacos on the parking lot, and I was like, sweet, I will take 4. Handed him a 10. And
Taco Bell because it's
Yeah, we got Taco Bell. I tell you what, it wasn't crap. I've never had Taco Bell.
Yeah, Taco Bell's not great.
Yeah, but the street tacos that you see on videos, they're like another fucking level. They are.
I will say this though,
greasy.
as far as taco chains go, Del Taco, which I doubt has made it outside the U.S. Actually, I wonder.
Oh, really?
But Del Taco is much better than Taco Bell. But they're a genre of taco that I call the shitty taco, or the crappy taco. And that is not a detraction on the taco. It's just my definition for a crappy hard shell taco with like generic meat. Because like you got your street taco, you got your gourmet taco, and you got your crappy taco. Sometimes I'm just in the mood for a crappy taco, and Del Taco hits that to a T.
Sometimes you can't beat the crappy foods. Like all day long, I'd have one of those street tacos. If you say fucking argument, I would give you the craps. But I'd give it a go because I bet it tastes amazing.
Del Taco at least will not wreck your insides. It will just make you maybe make you regret certain life choices occasionally, but but that's about it. It's like good.
Couldn't be any
food.
worse than what I had. I made jerk chicken the other day.
Oh, cool.
Right.
Jamaican jerk chicken, and I bought what were they? Bird's eye chilies.
Yeah.
I put too much bird's eye chili in it. And it was the hottest thing. I couldn't even speak, right? It was that spicy. I'm trying to eat it.
They couldn't even say something.
And the next day, it was coming out, and I swear to God, the chilies were coming out with it. It was burning.
Yikes.
But yeah, I made it way too hot.
Oh man,
I like
Del
spicy.
Taco's not even on the East Coast. Huh. Yeah, there's you can find some spicy things around here too, because one of my coworkers, she found this ghost pepper powder. She likes to put it on her pizza, and that stuff will melt your face.
Oh yeah.
Tastes good though.
Inhaling it. What do you go get some? There's something man bread, don't it? Hello, Lola. I might warm up my curry now. There, down there. Curry always tastes better when it's warmed up.
It does. Curry's amazing.
It's chicken tikka. Chicken tikka masala, but I asked him to make it spicy.
Nice.
He's got a bit of a kick to it. And Evie's got butter chicken
Spicy. It's spicy as
with
well.
a spicy, yeah.
Yeah, I know it has like very little relation to actual curry, but in Germany they have like currywurst and stuff like that. Oh man, that stuff is so good.
A what?
Currywurst.
Yeah, currywurst is heavenly.
What's roast?
I don't know. What is it?
Like
It's basically like a curry sausage, and they'll put like a curry sauce on it, but it's like the German curry sauce, so it's kind of divorced from it a little bit. But oh, it tastes so good.
Been over at you.
No, I know. We go down.
We got someone from the pub. Howdy,
It's just
howdy.
the pub in general.
Is this? I'm guessing this is a Todd. Would it be a Todd?
Gonna wait for a moment.
Possibly. I think
Thank
he's
you,
the one that
Lando.
has command of the pub. Usually Todd uses his own account, so maybe it's someone else. Who could it be?
Right. But the bathroom right now, buddy.
Going to the bathroom and prep for the curry. Smart man.
You are, sorry?
I said going to the bathroom and prep for the curry. Smart man.
Yeah, I got the bathroom lights on. Ready. Come out for the... Oh.
So who from the pub has graced us? I would like to know. Oh, there's Todd. Oh, so it was Todd. Hi, Todd. We got Marmite in the party, as well as the lovely Amy, aka Mrs. Marms.
I'm co-piloting today.
Feel free to join in the chat if you'd like. WSA Flight Radio is open. And happy birthday to Clara, because I know y'all were celebrating.
Hello, Angels fan.
He says, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Marmite.
Just, you know, he's upstairs a minute. I'm prepping. Be a gourmet chef downstairs.
So Todd, we are currently flying to Edinburgh to pick up some Scotch, because gotta get Scotch from the source. So what Scotches do I have? I've got the Speyburn, I've got my Macallan, Glenfiddich, Glenmorangie, Freud, Oban, and Lagavulin. Is that all the Scotches I have? Oh no, I have Ardbeg and Glenlivet. I have a lot of Scotch.
You've got a lot of collections going on.
See, it's only a problem if you admit that you have a problem, and I'm not ready to admit that yet. I've seen your barrels. It's definitely not that big a problem. I like your barrels. How much were they? Hello, Dan. Pleasure to have you aboard. Ah, okay, so that's who it is. Hey, Deej. I just didn't recognize your name there. Probably should have, but... We're currently flying over... basically over the... where am I flying? $180 a piece for the barrels. Yeah, that makes sense. I know the kitschy folk love barrels. Not saying that you're kitschy, I'm just saying they're the reason why it's high. Basically flying over the Irish Sea, FYI. And we'll be coming along to... actually, we're probably cruising right along Whitehaven and Sellafield. I think that's what it's called. Basically right along the coast there of the UK. So that'll be nice. It's basically fancy because it's quaint kind of thing. I did do a barrel roll earlier. I also stalled out the plane doing said barrel roll. Well, actually, no, that was the loop that stalled me out, not the barrel roll. Yeah, kitsch means it's like fancy because it's quaint. It's a designer. People love that word, and it's unfortunately stuck in my brain because I'm a designer. Lovely flight.
Hurry up, Spot. There you go. Yeah, I'm gonna know. In-flight food's good, JD. I'm enjoying it.
Excellent. I'll try to keep the flight as smooth as possible so you don't spill any.
What about, is there a duty-free selection?
I would assume so. I don't know the regulations to that, and when I don't know the regulations, I just ignore them.
Yeah, you can have duty-free. Your choices are whiskey and whiskey.
Nah, we've got various compartments in this plane that we could happily smuggle things along, and they would never know.
It's just, if it says, in case of emergency, pull handle in JD's plane, you pull it and a bottle of whiskey falls out.
That would be an awesome mod. If only I was smart enough to do that.
Huh?
I would make it this red handle. Pull that, and it would come down. Drop down just like oxygen masks.
Yeah, just bottles of whiskey for fun.
Yeah. Bottle of whiskey folds down, 2 Glencairn glasses, and it'd be nice.
That's an idea for your next safety briefing. If you can make it, someone
Hey,
pull
look,
in
here
case of
you
emergency.
guys' windmills out in the Irish Sea.
Oh yeah.
And they are spinning. Look at that. Yeah, let's zoom in. You can see them spinning there. Look at them go.
Spicy in the eyes. That's cool. Resourceful, renewable energy.
Well, now the question is, when you see them, how many of these are usually broken? Or not spinning?
Probably all of them.
Yeah, I figure. Now, there was a YouTube video that I remember seeing that was really talking about the costs of quote-unquote renewable energy. And it was saying how like wind energy and solar energy are like $200 per kilowatt hour compared to like coal and natural gas, which is like a 10th to a 20th. And it's like, good lord. I mean, I'm all for all forms of energy, it's just you gotta diversify. Windmills and solar panels are the reason why Texas froze over like a year or two ago.
Half of those are probably just there for show.
Probably.
The windmills are just for show, like there's no wires or anything going to them.
Yeah. It's basically just for tax credits.
Yeah.
Look, it's the Exorcist. Such a terribly lame sense of humor. I love it.
Oh, what's that? What's that little island, but
Oh, what's what?
what's that little island?
Over here? So this is the start of the English coast here. So we're going to be flying basically past, let's see here. We got it up on the map here. Basically we're going to be coming here along Whitehaven. So Isle of Man is off that way.
Right, yeah.
That's
Where's
the Isle of Man. So we can go there, drive motorcycles really, really fast.
Yes.
And then we hop over there, and then we have speed cameras and misery. Fun, misery. Freedom, bureaucracy.
That's the thing, like, obviously how, like on the Google Maps, you bring out Google Maps back up now.
Hmm?
If you bring the Google Maps you just had up with Isle of Man there. So obviously look at the distance between the English coast and the Isle of Man.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at it in perspective, as in the game,
Yeah,
it's a lot further, it looks like a lot further.
It's actually not that far. It's maybe about 15, 20 miles. I mean, I can,
Yeah, but
I can
it
do
looks
this. There's
a lot
distance.
worse when they do like a lot bigger on the game.
Oh, 30 miles. 32 miles. That's what it is.
No.
So, not that far. Side down. I mean, you can see houses. They're just not necessarily accurate to what those houses would really look like, because they just use sort of generic models. So I flew to my house, and my house is apparently blue in the game, which it is white with red roof, so not quite accurate. That's kind of how they fudge the details.
Give me a ball.
What are you talking about?
Let's see. Come here. High five. You can have a bit, because there's a bit here that me touched.
What about?
Yeah.
Oh, so you still said that?
No, no.
Let's remember how this one works.
What the fuck?
What's this?
It's on the bed. You put the right whole chickens. That's not any bad, one.
There we are. There we go. That's how I get my map more out there. It's always fun when the pilot's trying to figure out how the plane works while he's in the air. It's fine, everything is fine.
Just figuring everything out. So when the pilot brings how to fly a plane for dummies book or something, that's when you get worried.
Oh, it doesn't look like there's actually a how to fly a plane for dummies. There is apparently a video of it, which has a pretty good thumbnail there. Yeah, you want to see your pilot pull this out.
just dress as a pilot and walk with an airport holding that box.
Oh no, here it is. There we go. I don't know if it's real or not, but landing airplanes for dummies. That runway looks too short, but it's 6,000 feet wide.
What's the Airbus for dummies as well?
Yeah, but I don't think it's real. It looks like it's a fake one.
Ladies' Christmas present. Oh, I can see Iron Man now on the map for that.
Yep. Yeah, so you got it right there. So I actually figured out how to zoom that one out so I could actually see. But here, we'll wave to the Isle of Man. Hi.
Hello. What's your ETA now to London? I gotta go to bed. For them it's past 12, but I want to watch your
we're a little over halfway. So I'll get this interactive map here. So we're right here, Edinburgh's up here. That'll be our approach. So we've gone probably about 55-60% of the way.
No, not too bad.
But feel free to stay on as long as you want. If y'all are ready for bed. I mean, I'm going as fast as I can, but the plane only goes so fast.
It's just bigger than 2 nets on the next one, about turbo on it. Cirrus aircrafts. Is that those made by Cirrus?
Yeah, Cirrus. It's a good aircraft. They've got a bunch of small recreational aircraft. Let's see what they got here. Oh, they got a really cool looking jet that they do not have in Flight Simulator. And it looks awesome. It's called Vision Jet. Looks like this.
It must be.
Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
It's a wicked looking jet.
You need one. They might be a mod out there for that.
Yeah, they're probably like a couple $1 million too. They look awesome. Gives me the spec here of cruising speeds like 300 knots, so give or take 260, 270 miles an hour. 7 passengers. Be a good little trainer. Be fun to fly. And they got their SR22s. Yeah, that looks to be about all the planes that they currently sell. They got the 22, 22T, which I don't know what the difference is. I guess, it has a, no, that's the same operating height. Because it might just be a little bigger. Oh no, it's a trainer. That's why. Got it. Or no. Oh no, it is actually turbocharged. That's why. So that's what the T denotes. It's a turbocharged engine, where the one I'm flying is not. It's just a standard.
What engine is it?
It's a piston engine in it, so basically it's similar to a gas engine. Nothing too fancy. Apparently has a parachute.
It's a parachute.
Oh, for the whole plane.
Oh.
See?
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That's a pretty good safety feature. It is not enabled in this plane because I've crashed this before, and there was no parachute. I was doing really dumb things though, so you know. Yes, you can, Matt. You can fly anywhere in the world, even to places where you technically aren't allowed to fly. I have flown over North Korea before. I have flown over Iran. I did not get shot down.
You fly to like North Korea.
Yeah, you can. They've got a couple of their airports there, so you can in fact fly to North Korea if you wanted to.
So there you go then.
Yeah, anywhere in the world, they have most airports, including small regional ones, as you saw me taking off from Swansea. I've also taken off from some of my local airports here, like El Monte Airport and Fullerton, which are very, very small airports. Typically, only prop planes ever fly into them. And they're not fully modeled, but they're modeled enough that they can pass.
Yeah.
And then you have other things like LAX, which are very famous airports that they've actually meticulously modeled and put in the game. But I would say they are a little inaccurate because LA doesn't look that good.
I'll have to. I'll try download it on the PC, see if we can get it to work.
Yeah, definitely play with the settings. Start out with the low settings and just see how it functions with that, which it should do okay. Because you've got a decent CPU. I know you're. What graphics card are you running?
Oh, I can't remember what it is. It's not a very good one.
I'm guessing what probably a 1650. I think is what you have.
I think so. I can't remember what we were looking at. I know I've got better RAM in it now.
Yeah, this game is usually it'll go pretty hard on the graphics card, but I think the low settings you should do probably just fine with a 1650. I don't think it actually does ray tracing, so I think you should be okay on that front. Because if yours is a 1650, it's a GTX card which doesn't have the ray tracing cores. That shouldn't have any issue with that. Let's see.
What would the process be like if I managed to get it working? If I wanted to join you on a flight, what would the process be? If I was like, if it did work the game, and I wanted to fly with you, what would the process be?
Yeah, you would be able to. I've never tried multiplayer, but I'm sure there's a way to do it. But here are the specs for it. I mean, minimum specs is an i5 4th generation, which that's just insane, or a Ryzen 3 1200, which was not a good CPU. 8 gigs of RAM, you're good on that front. Windows 10. Yeah, you'll be fine with a 1650, because that's an old graphics card.
That should be fine then.
Yeah, you should be able to run certainly the low settings, maybe even medium. If you don't mind your frame rate being at around probably 30, you might be able to get high, but keep in mind with aircraft, and you're playing on a 1080p monitor, so you should be okay. 30 FPS is not actually bad.
Oh, flavors.
Because with aircraft, things are moving very slowly, even though, yeah, I'm cruising along at 200 miles an hour, but everything happens very slowly as you're flying. You don't need the high FPS like you would in, say, like a shooter game or a racing game.
Yeah.
All seen everywhere. In the middle of the hall, so you can move to that. And on the edges, then we put your left edge and stuff.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. We'll see if we can do a flight. I can't, like, if you go multiplayer, I can't sit in your plane. You've got to individually fly a plane, haven't you?
Correct. So you would have a plane, I'd have a plane, we could fly in formation or do something like that. Just depends. I've just never done it before, but I'd be happy to try.
House with sauce.
And yes, Matt, you can fly to Antarctica. And I know Egypt has some of the landmarks there. You can definitely see the pyramids of Giza and a few other things around there. So that is all in-game. Yeah, it's mainly the high settings. So what you're seeing here, this is what makes computers freak out, because it is quite a lot.
What's that white bar that keeps coming up at the top of the screen with the arrow on it?
Oh, so this is like a mini menu. So I can do a toggle active pause, which allows me to take like screenshots and stuff like that. That's
Right.
air traffic control. That's my camera settings and my checklist, which actually checklist I don't need on anymore. So actually that. Turn off. Basic controls, this will just bring up some of the controls and stuff like that. So this is kind of how my layout is. And you can change that to whatever you want, so that's pretty neat. Flight assistant, if I bring this up, it's got, so let's say I want to go and make myself some tea or something like that. I can turn on some of these things so that way the AI pilot can take over in certain ways, so that way I'm not getting yelled at by ATC.
You said no.
Alright, Deej, have a good night. Thank you for joining. Fuel and weight, so this is currently what I'm running. We got 52%. I should switch my tanks, because I'm running very low on my left main tank. That's a good thing I checked that. Because we would have...
The plane be flying squiff otherwise.
Oops. Uh-oh. Okay, everything's still running. Whew. That was dicey. I accidentally turned it off. Oops.
So if you run one tank dry, you fly on, would you fly on a squiff or try to fly?
So what would happen is the
side?
engine would stall out. I'd still be able to glide. I'd probably be able to make it to land. But I'd have to find a runway quick. So I'd basically do a quick search around, try and find some place to land, and get the plane on the ground. And fortunately, according to the map, there would be... Actually, there aren't many runways around here. So it would be real dicey. That is a good thing I checked that, because that would have been a very eventful flight. We got the nav log. Basically, this is all of my check-ins and stuff like that. These are all the checkpoints that I have in my VFR. I can actually time these and assume where I'm actually going, but I don't care. Objectives, I don't have anything listed. You can actually do replays, so it'll actually record the position, and then you can do like cinematic shots as your plane is flying. It's pretty cool. Travel to, I can basically do fast travel if I didn't want to do the full flight. I can bring this up and then immediately come to my, basically my approach or my top of descent, and come into my final if I just want to quick travel to it. And I got weather. This one's my map. That's what's on the side here. weather, so it is giving live weather. It's just not giving live time because right now it's saying 9:47 a.m. But I know it's like probably 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock your time now.
It is 23 minutes past 12.
Oh, okay, so it's only past midnight. Okay, so it's not too bad, but again, YouTube doesn't like dark things, so we're not flying at real time, just because I don't want to be completely in the dark and have the video look like crap. And then custom toolbar, that's just basically adding and taking away things as needed. So whenever I'm moving my cursor around, it'll show that, just sometimes when I'm going up there, so that's what all those controls are.
Also, I hit a lot of beef and cows and vegetables. So by association, I hit a lot of vegetables from grass.
So let's see, where are we?
You know what?
We are approaching southernmost. So this is where we are now. We're approaching this landmass here.
Where? Fresh tofu?
What is this? Is that Scotland?
I believe so. I think, yeah, that's right along.
Yeah,
That's Scotland. So welcome to Scotland, folks. We are in technically the lowlands of Scotland. Very nice whiskey from there.
That smells like
Let's
hot
look at the
all the time.
profiles.
What a nice.
Lowlands I'm not very familiar with, but they're sort of earthy tastes. Let's see, it says lowland scotches tend to have flavor profiles that are more earthy, including grass, toast, toffee, and cinnamon. For me, I'm not a big lowland scotch fan, but each their own. The Highland scotches, those ones are like sort of more light and fruity. Spacesides are sort of sweet like vanilla, and Isleys, which I adore, are just basically smoke bombs. They are amazing. Some of them taste like barbecue.
Yeah. You gotta. Well, that's a missed opportunity. You should pick up a whiskey or advertise a whiskey for every place you land.
Well,
Like Swansea, you know.
It did for Penderyn, because that was
Obviously,
that
you go
was
for
what I was
Scotland,
drinking
isn't it?
over. Now for Scotland, what would I choose? I have so many. And Lafroig is my favorite. I got the Lafroig Triple Wood. That one I got in Edinburgh. Well, I tried in Edinburgh. That was where I first fell in love with it.
I like watching Super Cheesy, Super Snappy.
You'd have one for
Oban.
Japan.
I do have whiskey from Japan. I've got 3 currently. I used to have 4, but I finished off that one for a whiskey review. I'm gonna do another whiskey review at some point. At some point we'll do that. They just take a while because I haven't modeled a bottle, so
But there's 2 places.
I kind of like doing that. Did you ever watch that video?
Far from me?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. No.
That was it was a good little one. It was a quick minute review video, and I actually modeled the bottle, the Toki. It's Toki, and spoiler alert, it's not a good whiskey. It's decent. It's decent for mixing, but it's too expensive for mixing, so I don't recommend it. But the bottle is sort of a square-looking bottle, and because I can just pull up my own YouTube channel while we're doing this, shameless plug. I don't care. Your videos. Here we go. Okay. I wanted the video. I didn't want you to. Let's see here. So I'm going to keep it muted just so that way I don't probably copyright myself. So like, I modeled this bottle and the glass in Blender and did that for the review, and I really liked it. Now it's got a little bit of noise up here. I was sort of rushing the renders, but it's something that I want to try and do for all the future videos. It just takes a while. And currently I'm also doing a Qbot video, which is taking up a lot of my computing time. Because a little Qbot is getting Qbot's getting a marathon video. It is. I have the intro to it. That is.
Oh, somebody showed me. It's class, innit?
That's the real one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the real one. So I was just showing off my little blender skills. But I've got another.
That was good skills, though. Is that the
Yeah.
airport on the map? The one the red line goes to?
No, this is TLA. It's one of the. Oops, being contacted here real quick. So Manchester.
119er
Heading off to Scotch,
75 Whiskyfile 2121. Scotch
Okay.
Center Whiskyfile 212110,800 feet.
So TLA, that's sort of like a radio checkpoint.
Right. What's the red line for? That's your...
So the red line is the current part of the route that I'm on, and then once I hit here, it'll change this one to that red.
I got it.
But yeah, back to that Toki video. The when I did that render, I was maybe a month into using the program.
Give it some time, you'd be an expert on it.
Well, I'm trying to get there. Let's see. Now it's a really noisy video, and noisy because it's like, when I say noise in a render, it means that it's like really grainy.
Yeah.
But let's see. What I've got. I think I sent it. Did I send it? I think I sent it to top. Yes, I did. Haha. So this is what I'm. So I'll just do it like this. Yeah, picture in picture. So this is something that I'm working on for Qbot, and these are really in progress renders, so I just sort of cut it together, but this is all Blender. Even made moths, and I taught them how to love.
So you can make that actually real.
And so it's also keyed to music, so yeah, it seems like it's a really slow pan. Yeah, there's a car that even goes by, another car that'll go by a little later. But I've got this all keyed to music that I wrote, and it's gonna be nice. Got a little barrel on fire. The barrel is actually a simulated fire. I figured out how to do that.
There was a dumpling buffet, something like this. Like, I don't even know where to start. Oh, I get it. Bulldog dumplings. I've had noodles, I've had the rice. When feeling overwhelmed at a buffet or
and then now here's a sort of sketch render because I ran out of time, but I just wanted to get this full pan done. And there's a little Qbot underneath some trash and some bricks and some cans. And then still shots to kind of show where I'm taking it. Traffic lights, fire. Qbot starts turning on, and then the fire goes out because I'm gonna make it start raining. There's a little Qbot, and he's happy. And then he's gonna reach out into the rain. And that's pretty much all I got so far.
Some skills,
So
that is JD.
That initial pan is what's currently being rendered, and it should finish by Monday. So we are now over Scotland, officially.
Good.
Welcome to
Very
Scotland,
farmlandy as well.
the birthplace of whiskey. Well, one of two birthplaces of whiskey. Ireland and Scotland keep fighting over it. They both developed it at the same time because they both stole it from the Romans, who had something similar, but not exactly. The Scots and the Irishmen both perfected it. Yeah, we got all the in-flight entertainment, so that's a little spoiler alert for the rainy daydreams. I'm excited for that video. It's something that's probably going to take another couple of months to finish up, but it's going to be great.
The video this is probably the best one for sneak peeks and everything so far.
Mm-hmm. Got lots of little things in the works. So that is my third channel called Name Pending, which I'm still working on a name. I got to work on a logo for it, but I got a name kind of in the works. But I won't spoil that now. You'll see that when the animation actually comes out for that logo.
Stay tuned for another flight.
Oh yeah.
What's he wearing on his face? Your glasses and a fucking face visor on. Your glasses and a visor on. We watched this Mickey Chin, he's very thing about COVID. And he looks like he's fucking going into some sort of...
No, the glasses.
Yeah.
They have the shield on them.
Oh, right, okay.
So you have to have...
This because they're
Generate?
freaking out over COVID or something?
He wears two masks.
Yeah, he wears he wears a mask and then one of those big face shields.
He wears two masks.
Oh yeah, two masks, I guess, on the motor's mouth. So you've got one on and another one over the top.
Gloves.
Gloves and everything.
If you like the restaurant's busy rooms.
See,
Yeah, you won't go to a busy restaurant.
See, I have... My position is I am perfectly fine if you want to wear that. But you start making me wear that because you're scared, that's when I'm going to hit you.
I don't even fucking wear it half the time. I walk in the shop there with no mask on. Half the time I forget. Like we go outside like the supermarket. We're like, you got a mask? And we're like, no. Oh, I haven't got a mask either. Oh fuck it, we're here now. Just walk in with no mask on. No,
Yeah.
we are. I thought it though. We'd be lucky.
It's well, you guys got all your restrictions lifted, didn't you?
Well, they brought it back in for a bit.
What? But I thought I thought they just did it recently.
Yeah, they brought it in recently as well. So they lifted them and then they brought it back in. Not massive, but they brought it back in because things just again.
Like clubs.
Nightclubs, yeah. Problem is, if you go on a night out, people don't give a shit about COVID then, do they?
Well,
Yeah.
no, but if you go to like pubs in town, you have to stay at your table. You can't get up.
Yeah, you got to like you got to just go to your table. You got to stay at your table. Things are table service. They got to bring everything over to you. You can't go to like the bar and stuff.
Jeez. Now, here's the way that I knew that a lot of these restrictions were really stupid, at least in California. This was back in 2020, so, still the alpha variant, still people freaking out over it initially. They opened up strip clubs, but they kept churches closed. Now, how does that one make sense?
They open strip clubs.
They kept churches closed, but opened up strip clubs.
Uh-huh. So you can get a lap dance, but you cannot be saved by Jesus Christ.
I know it.
Like my hospital appointments being cancelled.
Yeah.
In terms of like the NHS and stuff is backlogged. What else?
I'm sure.
Not so much, really.
I think that's it, to be honest.
And what really sucked is, they have a quote-unquote vaccine mandate in LA County. And, I understand the place of business there was simply doing their job. And just trying to abide by the restrictions. But I went into a burger place with me and one of my buddies. He was from Texas. Or, no, now he's from Florida. He used to be from Texas. And we go there, and he does the dog and pony show with a mask as well, because he knows he's in communist California. And we go to the burger place, and we want to sit inside and eat. It's not that crowded. There's maybe like 3 or 4 other people, and they ask us, do you have a vaccine card? And now I had already ordered, and I said, we're just going to eat it outside. And that was apparently fine. But I have not gone back to that place since, because I won't support a place that supports communist mandates.
Yeah, we don't ask for cards, don't you? Do they? They used to ask for if you went on a night out, for a COVID passport. But if you went to somewhere just for food, they'd just sit you down and they won't even ask.
Well, at this point,
No.
the vaccine is even
events,
showing not to be
yes.
effective at preventing it.
Bigger events.
Yeah.
Where
So
more
it's-
people will be.
Yeah, it's big events as well, like concerts and stuff. They
Yeah.
ask for it.
Like, sport.
It's just all over the place. I just do what I normally do. I
Pretty
usually
much.
don't go to concerts.
Yeah, but I don't know if has he had the newer variant?
Yeah, what's it called? The Omicron variant. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, it's Omicron, or if you're Joe Biden, it's Omnicorn.
No, it's not. Yeah, that's the variant of flight road, but there's always something in the news to say there's a new variant coming or this is going to be different.
Like we're jabbed.
Yeah, I got 2 jabs. I haven't had a booster.
Yeah, I got the vaccine, but if you ask me to show you my card, no, you can go to hell.
My card.
Mm-hmm. We have this thing called HIPAA, which what does HIPAA stand for? I can't remember, but technically it's a violation of HIPAA, which is a series of laws to protect your healthcare information.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What is it? Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, and
It's mad, isn't it?
basically it's to protect sensitive patient information. And
Alright.
I just tell them, if you really want to see it, I can hand you my lawyer's number and happily sue you and own the place in a week. I usually don't take kindly to that. But again, my aforementioned "you can go straight to hell," which courtesy of my great Aunt Gloria, who used to say that to many people. You know, I'm starting to understand that woman a lot more.
You my Lola dog. We got a tired pooch. Tired pooch. Keep grunting and moving my arms like the Megatron variant. Megatron.
Yeah, it'll come.
Transformers.
Now, have you heard the
I just
things
wanted
about
to be
the... oh, sorry, what were you saying, Mermit?
I just wanted it to be a massive zombie apocalypse so we could, COVID turns people into zombies and then we can fight like you do in the movies. Because I watch all these movies and play all these games about zombie apocalypse and we never put them to use.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, we'd all get eaten. It would, it would happen.
No, I think I don't know. I'd give me a gun and a car. I'd survive.
Yeah,
I could live off beans.
Like, if they were slow ones, okay, but not fast ones.
Yeah, gotta be slow zombies.
Yeah,
Oh, no running, I don't run.
I'm with you on that.
Just think about it to use, makes it more exciting. At least give us a global pandemic, but at least give me a gun and some zombies so I can make it more entertaining.
Matt's suggesting play Dying Light 2. I saw that you've done a few streams on there. I don't think I've been awake for when you've done your streams, or I haven't been home. It's one of the two.
There's I can't remember the name of it. I watch this YouTube. It's called the Out the Middle Show.
Mhm.
They used to play this zombie game, but it wasn't just a zombie game. It was like you have to build. You'll have houses. And you gotta like reinforce the house. You can get cars, but you gotta find wheels for them. And it's like not just zombies. Oh, the Mist. Was it called the Mist? Yeah, the Mist is called.
Huh.
I tell you what, it looks banging. If you ever get a chance, have a look at that game. That's probably like what I would like in a zombie survival game. The proper in depth. Like there's bears in it. You gotta fight off big clans.
Wait, are they just regular bears or are they zombie bears?
Not the regular bears.
Okay. Zombie bears would be terrifying.
Like, but all zombies only turn up when this mist appears.
Huh.
So like throughout the normal days there might be no mist, so you can like get your supplies and just gotta fight off the bears and stuff. But then when the mist comes, you gotta deal with the zombies attacking you and stuff.
I mean, at least they announced their presence. That's very polite of them.
But it's not like you can just like jump to your house. It's quite a big map. So if you're like driving around getting resources, and then the mist appears, you gotta try to get back to your house while dodging zombies. It's like catch by surprise.
Alrighty, we are on the last leg of the journey, folks. So you can see on my map there is Edinburgh.
Oh, we're almost there. Yeah, Matt, have a look at it when you get a chance. It's called The Mist. I think it's only a PC game though. It's downfall. Matt.
That's got a PC though, right? Pretty sure he does.
No, it's not Matt. I'm not sure. Yeah, have a look. The Mist. It was a film as well. The Mist is a good film. Yeah, Mist Survival is called.
Pretty cool special effects on there too. There's a YouTube channel that I watched called the Corridor Crew that did like a sort of breakdown of some of the effects that they did. It's pretty neat.
See how much the game is on CD keys. Apparently it's like $10.99 on Steam.
Yeah, what's that?
121.205 for Whiskyfile 2121. Edinburgh approach Whiskyfile 2121 11,200 feet.
Whiskyfile 2121 Edinburgh approach altimeter 29.9 continue as planned.
It's not even on.
Alrighty. So we're now connected to Edinburgh's radio tower. That's a little bit of a ways off, but we can kind of see it. Guessing the airport's right over in this area. That's right dead set in front of us, so it's right in about here.
Kimchi.
Oh yeah, you can buy it on Steam, this game, this Mist game. It's only in pounds. £8.29. It's about $10.
Well, but Matt, it is not flat. It is actually curved. It's just very slight, and we're not very high. He said flat Earth confirmed. Nah, we're just only at 10,000 feet above. You can't really tell the curvature of the Earth from that high. I mean, you can. It's just very slight.
You just went in the exit, not to enter on the exit. So,
This cheek. What this dude? Can't see that. Yeah, we're talking. Can't do this up.
what?
I'm just gonna watch.
Why? Why can't you say that?
It's an echo.
Are you watching something else?
No, I'm watching DD. Doing the same cast.
I'm not watching anything.
Wait, what position will you start your descent?
You know, I don't actually know, because I'm basically waiting on air traffic control to kind of guide me in for that. But should be starting it relatively soon. They should be giving me some sort of an approach.
Just nosedive last minute.
I mean, you can. Most likely I would do a what's called a downwind approach. Then you basically turn to the left and then come in for the upwind approach, which is where you make your final approach.
Yeah.
So you basically make I basically make a loop like this, come over here and then land. But I'm not quite close enough yet. I'm guessing I come in within this circle here. Oops. Zoom in. So there's this circle here, which I'm guessing is where the that's where its airspace jurisdiction would be. And hopefully they'll guide me in for a landing. If not, I can always do it manually. Where I just pull up the airport list, contact them directly, request permission to land, and then do it that way. And they'll give me the approach coordinates.
I know.
Dog pellet.
There's some of the bridges over there.
Where's the... Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
That's the airport I can see below, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the airport
crazy.
here. So I don't know where it's going to bring me in. So I have a runway set up. I think I'm coming in on this runway here.
Have to go out and over the sea and over the water and come back in, is it?
I loved Edinburgh. It's like, went there once, and that was where I fell in love with Scotch. It's in I think it's my first video on this channel I talk about that, but it's there's like a whiskey experience museum kind of thing where they basically tell you about all the process to it. They tell you how it's made, or like how it's stored, the different regions, how they taste and all that. And then it's like £5 I think to go in and see that and then do one tasting, and it's like £20. No, it's £10 for the one tasting, and it's like £20 for like 5 tastings. Needless to say, JD got a little bit drunk as he went back to the hostel after that. It was fun. Basically, it's like right off the main avenue to the castle. Alright, I don't think they're going to be telling me where I'm going, so we're going to do it this way. Edinburgh touch. Let's see here.
Edinburgh Tower Whiskyfile 2121 is 6 miles south, 11,200 feet with Quebec to land.
Whiskyfile 2121 Edinburgh Tower. Altimeter 29.901, wind 241 at 15. Fly left base, runway 06.
Acknowledge.
Fly left base, runway 06, Whiskyfile 2121.
I'll let you land, did it?
Yep. So, yeah, they obviously don't do it automatically for VOR, so we're going to kill my autopilot. Alright, pull back on my throttle. Yes, I know I'm overspeeding. So we are going to make a rather aggressive approach, because we're going to be landing on this runway here. So I'm going to fly a little bit close to it, but I need to descend quite a bit without overspeeding, so I don't want to damage my aircraft. Actually, I might do it this way. Yeah! So what I'm doing is I'm pulling on the rudder and descending quite rapidly. I'm able to curb some of my speed. I'm still maintaining control of my aircraft. Make sure you have your tray tables and seats in their upright and locked positions. Make sure all curry is put away because we don't want that flying out. And make sure your seatbelts are securely fastened, and we don't expect you to be getting up around the cabin because it is way too damn small.
True impression of the seatbelt light coming on. It does, yeah, Matt said that mist looks incredible. Matt will have to get it. We can all play it. It's about £8 game and look banging.
Whiskyfile 2121 with 241 at 15. Clear to land runway.
I can't see the chat because they update on YouTube for some reason now. If you go into full screen on a phone, it still only has half a screen. The other half is the chat. Doesn't pop up for some reason anymore. It's permanently on.
That's silly. Come on. Whee. Yeah, we're making a very aggressive approach here. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Alright, we're dropping flaps. Trying to do everything to arrest my speed here because we are coming in very aggressively. This is the type of landing that I really should have gone around for, but Marmite needs to get to bed, so...
It's much more entertaining to watch.
Yeah. We're still coming in for a pretty good landing. I just get my speed all under control and everything.
Pro.
Almost like I know what I'm doing. Almost.
That's a runway, you can set a small plane.
Yeah. Yeah, it did lined it up pretty good too. Wonder where I can actually pull off. And I wonder when they're going to tell me any intention or anything like that. Still cruising along at basically about 100 miles an hour. Oop, I can turn off here. Hard on the brakes.
Whiskyfile 2121, turn next taxiway.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. Said next taxiway, that was the next one.
Whiskyfile 2121, contact ground on 121.755.
It's like I knew what they tell you, see. They turn the volume down. They give you instructions there.
Yeah.
121 decibels,
So I'm always paying
755
attention to it.
Whiskyfile 2121. Edinburgh ground, Whiskyfile 2121 taxi to parking.
Whiskyfile 2121 taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Charlie Lima Golf.
Alrighty.
Oh, cool, it gives you arrows, very cool.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I do appreciate it because I cannot pay attention to the all the landing instructions. I mean all the taxi instructions. I just don't know what. Yes, I know I was getting things in order.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Charlie Lima Golf, Whiskyfile 2121.
Do you have someone guiding you in?
So what they'll do is they'll give me a series of instructions. So it's saying taxi aviation parking using taxiway CLG. Oops, hard to read while I'm doing that. And this is essentially following it, and it'll tell me essentially where I'm supposed to go. So that is quite nice. I do appreciate the arrows because it is quite confusing when I'm basically hopscotching around airports and not paying attention to all of their layouts. Sure, if I studied a little bit more, I'd be better, but...
Yellow lines are basically what the plane follows, isn't it?
Yeah. Oop, hang on, I gotta stop real quick. Alright. And for the fun formalities, because I like to at least have some things authentic, because that approach was definitely not authentic, but at least I can make other things. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Edinburgh Airport. The local time is definitely not 1 a.m. because the sun's up, but it's close enough. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt fasten sign has been turned off. Please also note, it is cold as hell outside. It is only 2 degrees Celsius, or 35 degrees Fahrenheit, so make sure you brought a jacket with you. Let's see here, what else do I have? At this time, you may use your phones, but please keep personal electronics such as laptops stowed, and if you have a desktop set up for this flight, wow, you're rude. The guy in the seat next to you is probably pretty pissed. Especially because you're really encroaching on his space. Please check around your seat for any personal belongings you may have brought on board with you, and please use caution when opening the overhead bins because there really aren't any, and I would be really questioning how you actually open them. Heavy articles may have shifted around in the cargo hold underneath the aircraft, so be careful when you're grabbing your suitcase. And remember, anything left will be sold and all proceeds will be used for whiskey. If you require assistance off the plane, please remain in your seat till till the only other passenger has disembarked, and we'll be happy to assist you. If you are a little bit inebriated from the flight, assistance can also include a swift boot in the rear. On behalf of Whiskyfile Spirit Airlines and the entire crew, I'd like to thank you for joining us today, as we look forward to seeing you on board in the near future. Have a wonderful rest of your day and or evening and or night, as it may be for some of you folks in the actual UK. There are the formalities out of the way.
That's that out of the way.
I like to have fun. All
What
right.
is that guy standing on?
That guy is standing on a tug. So this is basically, it's a small tug able to maneuver the aircraft, because it's really hard to, some planes are really terrible at moving on their own.
Yeah.
And they do not have a reverse gear, so that'll pull you back and out. It's more, I mean, it's common in all aircraft, but that one's like a little small one, so it'll basically latch onto the front wheel and then push me back if I'm going back out to fly again. This guy here is just dictating where I should be. I'm pretty much centered on it, so he's telling me I'm probably good, although I could probably move forward just a little bit. Just encroaching death, that's all. There we go.
How they cross their arms once you were happy.
And now we can start turning things off. And I believe I can turn it off that way. And there we are. Yay! We did it. I'm going to actually clean up the rest of it here too. Turn off the fuel pump. Got fuel mixture. And we'll turn off batteries. And that's how you shut down a plane. Not too difficult. So, welcome to Edinburgh. Surprisingly clean landing, despite the very sketchy approach. Basically bled off all my speed and just came in like a bat out of hell.
There's some excitement to the flight, at least. Does it say
fun.
JD at the end of your flight number just a coincidence, or did you set that?
Sorry, what was that?
It says JD at the end of your plane, like flight number.
I did set that.
Just gonna say, it's just too much of a coincidence that.
Yeah, there was one that was very close to that before, and so I just decided, why not? I'll put that on the end of my planes. But that is the actual, that is the set ID that I have for the plane, so even in here it will say it, so you can see it up here. And 715 JD.
Oh yeah. It was good, I enjoyed that, JD.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you on board. I try and do these every either Saturday or Sunday. It depends on when I wake up, and also depends on really where I'm flying and what I have to do for the day.
I'll see if I can join you for the next one as well.
Yeah, love you to have that on, to have you on board. I'll plan on doing the Reykjavik one. I'll plot that one out and do it in a proper jet. Probably the 737.
Nice, okay. Be fun to go on a big plane.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. I'm gonna also find out where I put my stream. There it is. All right. So, do all the YouTubey things, like, subscribe, comment, share, etc., etc. And I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, Matt. See you later.